Boss! Boss! Boss?
Yes, that's right, as soon as possible. Thanks, we appreciate your cooperation. So, Fuka, why are you so upset?
Is it true? You're going to reconcile with Tanakura?
So you've already heard, have you? Well, what of it?
You mean it's true? How could you, brother? How could you come to terms with a guy who's doing his best to destroy us? Backing off now would be a sign of weakness.
Now isn't the time to think about saving face. Understand?
We haven't lost yet. We're still strong. Our guys are young, energetic, and ready for anything. We can't give up now. We can still win this thing.
Which is why it's time to negotiate, while we're still enough of a threat to make it worth their while to come to an agreement.
What the? I see. This was all your idea, wasn't it?
Calm down,
He's the
that's
one who
enough.
convinced you to negotiate.
What Tanakura wants is to get rid of us completely, to wipe us out. And the police will help him do it, thanks to the fortune he's spent in bribes and payoffs. I know how you feel, that the only honorable thing to do is go on fighting to the bitter end. But believe me, Fuka, that's exactly what Tanakura wants us to do. As long as we survive, we're the winner, even if it means giving up some of our turf.
I'd say that sums it up.
But what if we can't reconcile our differences? What if Tanakura refuses to negotiate? What if he won't be satisfied until we're totally wiped out?
Don't worry, Fuka. That's what Mr. Kinbara is for.
Is that what that phone call was about?
The plan has already been approved. The only thing left is for you to convince the youngsters. Got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Rin, it's a brilliant plan. To think that my own little brother came up with such a great idea. Quite a difference from 3 years ago.
3 years in lockdown, the best educational facility around.
Where's the morning buffet, Maki?
Do you have any idea what time it is? The buffet's been over for an hour.
Oh.
Oh, by the way, Miss Anae's been trying to find you. I think there's something she wants to talk to you about.
Is it urgent?
Don't know. She said to tell you to come see her whenever you have the time.
Okay, I'll see her after I get something to eat.
Hey there.
Aren't you supposed to be on duty, Konishi?
You don't mind if I take a little coffee break, do you?
Town's about to explode and you're taking a break.
Guess you haven't heard. They're gonna settle this thing peacefully.
Huh?
They've negotiated some kind of settlement.
Huh. Kinzame and Tanakura? They both agreed to it?
Yep, everything's settled. It's a done deal.
Late last night, they had a formal reconciliation ceremony at that big hotel in Sarunahashi. Damn, can't remember what it's called. That real fancy one. Oh yeah, I remember. There was a sign at the door that said, "Support the Dietman Shusaku Tanakura party." Looks like the two of them are partners now, which means it'll be a lot safer around here. Great for the chief, too. A lower crime rate will give his reputation a big boost.
Not to mention that now he's probably on both their payrolls, right, Kenishi?
I wouldn't know about that.
Well, doesn't matter. What is important is that we've got a peaceful town again. Pretty nice, huh?
Why the sudden change? Why now?
At any rate,
3 years, and this place hasn't changed at all.
what can I get you?
Beer.
I'd like to introduce you to our managing director, Mr. Rin. Mr. Rin, this is Mr. George Kodama, who's been working for us as an expert advisor and consultant.
If you've got something to tell me, wait till I'm finished eating.
From what I've heard, you've managed to play for both sides at the same time. That takes a lot of talent. You know that we've reconciled with Tanakura, right?
Georgie?
So it's like this. Since the crisis is over, our company no longer needs an advisor. In other words, you're fired. You're no longer welcome in Kimujuku, Mr. Kodama. So get out of town. The sooner the better.
Here's your beer. Would you like to sit down?
Look, beer noodles. Still hungry, George?
Far as I know, employees are supposed to get a month's notice before you let them go.
So you want to file a complaint? Of course, if you do that, you'll have to tell the court who you really are. They'll want to know where you came from and why. Ask you all sorts of questions. When you first got here, there were gang fights almost every day. But now it's a nice, quiet little town, and troublemakers like you just aren't welcome here. Put it on my tab.
The noodles, too?
Sure, why not? Just think of it as severance pay. I doubt that we'll ever see each other again, Georgie. You better hope not. The first train leaves at 10.
Rin Shirogane, the youngest of the three brothers. Good-looking kid, usually as cool as a cucumber. But when he loses his temper, he's as vicious as a mad dog, and twice as dangerous.
I hear he left town for a few years and just got back.
Left town for a few years? Yeah, I guess you could call it that.
So he was in prison.
The guy killed a man in a bar fight about 3 years ago.
If it had happened here in Kimujuko, it probably would have been covered up. But that bar is outside city limits. It's a wonder they let him out after only 3 years.
He seemed happy about the reconciliation, but Rin's one of those guys that's got his own agenda. You never know what he's gonna do. Sorry about losing your job, George, and the way that bastard treated you. But he was right about one thing. You should get out of town just as soon as you can.
And if I decide I want to stick around?
Stick around? You can't, George. The way you dig around in everybody's business could make this place explode all over again.
Mother, are you feeling all right? Is something wrong?
No, I'm fine. In fact, I'm feeling much better today.
Maybe you should lie down again for a little while. The doctor said you should rest as much as you can.
I'll rest later, dear. Oh, if you're going out, would you mind running an errand for me?
I know. The usual, right?
You going somewhere, Miyu?
Uh-huh. To do a little shopping. Oh, and maybe I'll stop by George's place for a minute to say hello.
He's gone, Miyu. And if he's smart, he won't ever come back here again.
Huh? What do you mean, he's gone?
Oh. My goodness. It took you all that time to pack one bag? Oh, you cleaned your room. Most men aren't so meticulous. George, I have something for you.
Huh?
Were you expecting it? One of Tanakura's men dropped it off earlier today. It's probably a formal letter of dismissal. I imagine you'll be getting one from Ginzame Industries as well. Unless they decide to send someone to tell you in person.
They already did. They sent the youngest brother.
Oh, I didn't know. Well then, since no one in Kimujuku seems to need your services anymore, I would imagine you'll want to leave as soon as possible. If you take the limited express from Sarunohashi, you should arrive in Tokyo by the end of the day. And thanks again for everything you've done for us. Your stay here was on the house, George. There's no charge. You were here at our invitation. Is something wrong?
This is a hotel, isn't it?
George! George!
Hey, Miyuki. I didn't know you were here.
Hello, George. I don't get it. Why'd you move from your old room into this one? It's kind of cramped in here, don't you think?
Maybe, but it's a whole lot cheaper, too.
And now that you're a paying customer, you'll get the same treatment as our other guests. But I'm a little surprised. A bodyguard usually plays it cool and doesn't get emotionally involved. When the job's over, he moves on to the next one, and I think you should do the same.
Why? Why should he leave? Besides, he's the only paying customer in this pitiful hotel of yours. And the customer's always right?
Most customers don't cause so many problems.
I think the only one causing a problem is you.
I beg your pardon?
It's not over yet.
Huh?
If you're talking about Rin, I know he insulted you. But don't take it personally. He talks to everyone that way.
Strange there was no mention of a reconciliation until he came back to town.
Maybe they started planning it a long time ago and did it right after he got here so he wouldn't start making trouble again.
Yeah, maybe. And maybe there's more to it than that. Miyuki?
Yeah? Ugh. Could you leave so we can have an adult conversation? Like I was a little kid. I bet it's a boring conversation anyway.
Do you know any of the details of Tanakura and Genzame's arrangement?
All I've heard is that they didn't split things 50-50. Something like 60-40 in Tanakura's favor.
Now I know there's something wrong.
Why, George? It sounds like they both got what they wanted.
But why did Genzame agree to it, when the smart thing would have been to just pack up and leave? After all, Kimujuku's a small town. It's hard to believe they have the means to support all those people. And for a complex arrangement like that, the lawyer's fees alone would have to be astronomical. The question is, where's all that money coming from?
What are you saying? That somebody's secretly backing them?
That's the only reasonable explanation. Someone with a lot of clout is working behind the scenes, doing whatever it takes to keep Genzame here, which is why he agreed to such a lousy deal. What the hell is hidden here that would be valuable enough to warrant such a Byzantine maneuver?
I haven't been here very long. If there's something hidden here, I have no idea what it could be.
Hey, George. How you doing, buddy?
Well, look what the cat dragged in. I thought you were supposed to be gone by now.
You stick around here, you'll go broke. Nobody in town's gonna hire you.
He ain't here for the money. He's here for the hottie who runs the Iraqi Inn.
I'll be back.
Don't bother.
Yo, George, hold on. Wait a minute, slow down, will you? Listen, George, I'm really sorry about what happened in there. It's just not right. I mean, after all you've done for us.
You have nothing to apologize for.
But, George...
Well, if it isn't Mr. Kodama.
Mr. Rin?
So, you're still in town.
Genzame Industries never sent me a dismissal notice, although I did get one from Mr. Tanakura.
I informed you in person. What is it about get out of town you don't understand?
I don't pay much attention to people who've had a lot to drink. especially when they're drunk before noon.
All right, Kodama, you want an official notice? Why don't you stop by the office tomorrow and I'll have it ready for you.
Hello, Mr. Wren. It's been too long. Your usual table, sir?
George, listen.
Better stay away from me, big guy, or you'll be next.
Hey, wait a minute.
What the hell are you doing, Raccoon? Get your ass in here. Now!
Yes, sir.
He did, right there in the middle of the meeting? You gotta be kidding.
The funniest thing I ever seen.
And stay out!
Oh, boy.
There you go.
I didn't order a beer.
It's on me. My way of saying bon voyage. You know, since you're leaving tomorrow. You are leaving tomorrow, right? Because there's no place here for you. Look, George, I know the only reason you came in so late is because no other place would let you through the door.
People seem awful nervous for a town that's supposed to be peaceful.
Peaceful citizens don't like to feel threatened, George. Especially by strangers. Because you don't know what they'll do. Shake your hand, or try to take your wallet.
Master? Can I have spaghetti this time? Turns out ramen and beer really upset my stomach.
Huh?
They're coming from behind me. Fine. Seems like there's only one guy. So it's you.